Should be working now. My aim's like really bad today. I can't focus off.
Fine. Try the session. Maybe you just need to warm up a little bit.
Maybe.
Okay. Let's see something. Let's go. NA is winning.
I need to practice more.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I need to.
Oh. Holy shit, that's expensive.
Wait, I think I know why I'm dizzy. 1 minute. Bro, I feel like so. I woke up dizzy as fuck today and it's just not going away, bro. Every time I walk down the stairs, I feel like I'm gonna have a fucking stroke and fall over.
Be a man. Stop complaining.
Says you, buddy.
I'm not the one here complaining.
You are. You're complaining that I'm complaining.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
you're
telling you,
complaining.
stop being a bitch.
Says you. Oh, my internet doesn't work. Buy a new one. You've got enough money. Do it, pussy.
Hold on, I got some interruption. So I'll come back to you. Now. Huh? It's your fault.
Which one fault? It's your right. I'm confirming that fact.
Okay.
It's just me protecting. It's not protecting.
What the fuck do you want then? What?
Yeah. This is how
Oh, remember.
it is.
Okay, a bit there.
Oh my god. I learned Flutter. Dude, have you ever heard of Flutter? The programming thing?
No.
It's pretty cool. So Google made it. And it's like a way that you can use one language to make native apps for iOS, Android, and the web. All in the same language with the same code base. So you don't have, it's kind of like Electron, where like it's supposed to be cross-platform, but they don't have to like run like a web view or like a web browser to like do it. So you just learn one language and like use the same code everywhere. I'm gonna try to learn it. 'Cause I've always wanted to, but never really had an excuse to. Okay. So then I go here. So that on Flutter. What? Flutter project? What? Oh, that didn't work. Where's projects directory? I don't have one. I don't. Oh.
Mhm.
I don't have Get on you? What? I don't have Get.
Got a plan to play better.
Bada bing, bada boo.
Ever since Ronan, a mom in Taiwan, she's invited her daughter back to come live with her. Ever since the two have been reunited, very strange things have been happening. 6 years ago, something happened where the mom, Ronan, could no longer take care of her daughter anymore. Her daughter's name is Dodo, and she could hardly take care of herself, let alone make sure that Dodo is being safe and well fed. But that's 6 years ago. Ronan today, she's different now. She's ready to be a mom again. She can take care of her daughter Dodo. After 6 years of being apart, obviously the
Who
initial
fuck
meeting
names
is
their kid Dodo?
definitely a little awkward, but there is this connection there because that's her kid. So for a little while, it seems like the two of them, they're gonna go home. They're gonna slip into a very natural, familiar family life where they just enjoy doing all these mundane
All right,
things
let's-
that they miss.
The voice
Hey,
is
what's
too
up,
high-pitched.
guys? And welcome back to another Stories. So you just to subscribe, relax. So a little backstory. My friends and I have been hiking and backpacking over the area multiple times, at least once a year on a good long multi-day backpacking trip. A few times in the same location, and other than car problems and sometimes friends not bringing the right gear, we've never had any issues. This specific trip was a 6 mile in, 6 mile out, 6,000 total elevation shift, both ways trip to a lake. We did it in October, so we were preparing for extreme colds, potentially below freezing at night. There were only 3 of us, and we were all geared up for this. I was probably the least geared out of the trio, and I knew I'd be perfectly comfortable. So we began the trek in. It took us until end of the day, and we get to the lake no problem. Set up camp and just enjoyed ourselves to the sounds of nature, some MREs, and a couple pints of whiskey. At the end of the night, we all settle into our sleeping quarters, myself in a small tent, my friend in a hammock right next to me around the fire pit, and our other friend some distance away from us in a tent. Now, it's important to note that my friend in the hammock was camped right next to me, maybe 10 feet away, while our other friend was probably 100 feet away or so. I had trouble sleeping, was restless, and even though I was warm, I kept getting shivers frequently and tossing and turning in my sleeping bag, which I just attributed to the cold. I didn't think anything of this at the time, and eventually I began to drift to sleep. The
Okay,
forest
but just
around was
fucking
quiet, with the occasional
focus, that
sound
should
of
be fine.
insects buzzing or a bird taking flight from a tree. That's when I was awoken by the sound of my friend's voice. Clear as day, I was groggy and a little confused as to why he was waking me up, but I clearly heard him say, quote,
Sounds like you installed
"My
the
name,
Flutter SDK.
help me." I immediately froze as he sounded really desperate and said, "My name, help me," again. Then before I got the chance to speak, I heard the voice again. "My name."
والمبلغ
Help.
لا تذكر
I have
رقم
to pee.
الجوال اللي بعته
And
الفارس.
then he laughed in a way that sincerely only my
تذكره؟
friend does. It was a giggle
إيه،
that I'd known him to
كان ما
have
يمديني
since
انقله
we had
لين
met many
اسدد
years
الفواتير
ago, and
عليه.
so I responded with,
Are you stupid?
haha, fuck off,
Yeah.
his name. I'm trying to sleep. And I thought that
What'd you
he was
say?
just trying to be funny.
Are you
Thinking
streaming?
back on
Yeah.
it would be very out of character for him to wake me up to pull some kind of stupid joke like that, but I was half asleep and I wrote it off. Although I knew something didn't feel quite right about it, I decided to just ignore him and let him do his business. He persisted. "Help. I need you. Come out here." I just mumbled about going back to sleep and to just go if he needed to. My memory is a little foggy as to how he conversed back and forth and what exactly was said, but afterwards I had noticed that he hadn't made any noise to leave to go pee or get back in his hammock as I was trying to fall back asleep, which I found odd, but again, brushed off as nothing. Once the voice had been gone for a while and I assumed he had quietly gone and gone back to his hammock, I realized I had to pee badly and wasn't going to get any sleep until I did, so I got out of my tent and immediately walked over to his hammock to pull the same stunt he had on me, calling his name in a joking manner and waking him up to let him know I was there. But when he woke up, he was immediately thrown off by this. That's when I told him I was just going to pee like you had told me you were a bit ago. Maybe 15 minutes had passed, not enough time for someone to get back into their multi-layer cold weather hammock setup and fall deeply asleep again. Not to mention, he hadn't made a sound since our conversation stopped. He asked me what the hell I was talking about, and I asked him over and over if he was just outside my tent. He swore up and down he had been asleep since he laid down in the hammock and never once got out of his hammock. That's when I felt the real chills go down my spine. Whatever had been outside my tent asking help in this high-pitched mocking voice that my friend would sometimes joke with was not him. I told him, oh okay, it was nothing, and then I proceeded to go pee, keeping eyes on my surroundings the whole time. Eventually, I was able to get back to my tent, warm up, and get drowsy enough to sleep. Even though the events that had just transpired terrified me to the core, I am well aware of the lore of the areas around northern New Mexico, and I wouldn't be the first of my friends to go missing without a trace had I opened my tent and followed the voice that night. Somehow I shook it off and was
I'm just
tired
gonna
enough
take a
to
small
start
break.
drifting
Fuck
to
it. I'm
sleep
gonna
after I got cozied up.
restream in a minute.
That's when it actually tried to get me. That half-awake
Because I
state
can't
between
focus. I'm just
sleeping
gonna rest.
and
I'll be right back.